Friends, on behalf of Ananta IAS Academy, today in our general knowledge series, I will be discussing with you about several important items which you may have to note down in your notebooks in a separate way. The first one is everybody is expecting the monsoon, but it has not onset in Kerala. The monsoon was delayed. The Indian Meteorological Department has announced the delay of southwest monsoon to June 3rd. However, SkyMet, a private weather forecast agency, said the monsoon had arrived. Why this difference of opinion? One is a government agency, another is a private agency, the SkyMet weather forecast agency. The reasons behind it are, this was because of 2 or 3 criteria as defined by Indian Meteorological Department, said the private agency. The IMD has prescribed 3 criteria, and if 2 criteria are also established, then it can be a thorough route. The criteria are, number 1, rain-bearing vicinities being at a minimum depth and speed. That is already there in this particular incident. Number 2, at least 60% of the available 14 stations in Kerala and coastal Karnataka reported rainfall of 2.5 millimeters for 2 consecutive days after 10th May. These are the fundamental prerogatives which have been fulfilled in this regard. A certain degree of clouding, outgoing long wave radiation also is observed. There is an element of subjectivity in the arrival. So that is why the SkyMet has described that it has already arrived. These are ocean-borne phenomena. That is why there is a difference of opinion. They are low pressure area or depression in Bay of Bengal during the last days of May. If it happens, then it is certainly the onset of a monsoon. The similar systems in Arabian Sea also were found. Lastly, the cross-equatorial flow is considered for this criteria. The monsoon are experienced in the world in tropical area rarely between 20 degrees of north and 20 degrees of south. This is the rough estimation. If a monsoon is there, it happens between 20 degrees north and 20 degrees of south. There are 4 seasonal divisions in India, and monsoon occupies 2 divisions in this regard. That is the onset of monsoon. This you have to keep in mind because it depends upon the cultivation of agriculture and other parameters for the incoming expenditure or income. So the agricultural income and the monsoon overset, this is the main important thing. Then another major decision taken by Modi government is the PM cares for children empowerment of COVID affected children. This is another landmark decision taken by Modi 2 government. There is a fund created under the name of a trust, PM Cares. The result of this particular decision is this scheme has been launched for the support and empowerment of COVID affected children. What is the eligibility? All children who have lost both parents due to COVID-19 will be supported under this scheme. This is a major policy decision taken by Modi government. What are the features of it? A fixed deposit in the name of the child, who is almost like an orphan without his parents, will be paid. A corpus of 10 lakh rupees for each child when he reaches 18 years of age will be there. And then the school education of that particular child will be taken care of. For children under 10 years, admission in Kendriya Vidyalaya or a private school as a day scholar will be allowed if he is under 10 years. If he is above 10, between 11 and 8. For children above 11 to 8, admission in central government residential school such as Navodaya Vidyalaya will be provided. If he is for the higher education, support for the higher education also is given through this PM CARES fund. Support for higher education means if he wants to go for an engineering degree or for an MBBS under this PM CARES Children Empowerment COVID affected children scheme, this amount will be provided. The health increase under Ayushman Bharat scheme, the insurance particular of health regarding Ayushman Bharat scheme with a coverage of 5 lakhs also is a provision in this scheme. This is the concept of a particular Ayushman Bharat scheme as well as the PM CARES fund for the children who lost their parents due to COVID. Then coming to the another point, concept of the anticipatory bail. Recently, you might have gone through the newspapers wherein most of the people, they apply for the anticipatory bail thinking that they will be arrested. What are the reasons and how it can be prevented? The Supreme Court has resolved a dichotomy in the approach in high courts and ruled the courts in extraordinary circumstances have the discretion to grant protection from arrest to the accused, even while denying them anticipatory bail. If you are giving them anticipatory bail, certain prerogatives are there. They have mentioned it in the Supreme Court judgment. The High Court and Supreme Court are given powers. So the Supreme Court was hearing an appeal against the 2 High Court orders, which, while rejecting the prayer of the accused or anticipatory bail, had asked them to surrender before the trial court and file a regular bail application within 90 days. This was the judgment of a High Court. So this came into the purview of the Supreme Court and they have finally decided. The right to liberty is guaranteed under Article 21. The grant or rejection of an application under the CRPC has a direct bearing on the right to life and liberty of an individual. This is to be taken into consideration. The court also may exercise its powers under Article 142 of the Constitution. So the Supreme Court ruled regarding this anticipatory bail. Then another important decision taken by the Kerala government under the Vinay Piran, who is the Chief Minister elected for the second time in this election, 2021. The Kerala's Bell of Faith for rural elders. This is a scheme for the rural elder citizens, senior citizens, taken up by the government of Kerala. What is this? For senior citizens staying alone in villages, this is applicable. Earlier, it was implemented in the urban areas, and this is under the community policing scheme. This is an important scheme under the policing. Normally, the neighborhood policy of the policing also was done in Delhi. When we were there in Pandara Road, the neighborhood policing policy also was implemented that time. It will help the elderly citizens to attract the attention of the neighbors using a loud, renovated, controlled alarm of emergency. Suppose if there is an emergency, the remote control is there. So if we just pushes the button, then it will be give a loud signature and loud signal will be given to the neighbors and they can come and protect these people. It is implemented from 2018 onwards in urban areas. Now, it is an example for community participation and being done in the rural areas also. And the great support after a pandemic for aged is the main idea, because most of the people, they might have lost their children, or the people who are living alone in the remote areas of the village, they are to be provided with the provision of getting a policing system. That is why neighborhood policing policy has come. Another important thing is to define the limit to selection. The Supreme Court has said it is time to define the limits of sedition. Most of these times, there is a case on people, either on the journalists or on the channels, about the sedition. What is this sedition? Earlier during the British time, most of the freedom fighters, they were sent out as a part of the judgment of the Sedition Act. This observation was made by the Supreme Court while dealing with the writ petitions filed by two news channels of seeking the quashing of FIRs and contempt petitions. There was a decision taken by government of a particular state, and they approached the people, aggrieved party has approached the Supreme Court. What is this case? The Andhra Pradesh government had slapped charges against two Telugu news channels. One is TV5, another is ABN Andhra Jyoti, for alleged sedition in showing offensive speeches of two leaders. This is the contempt of the government of Andhra Pradesh. So they have issued a notice to these two channels, TV5 and ABN Andhra Jyoti. They said the government's action is a violation of Supreme Court order of 30th April, which restrains the arrest and prosecution against citizens for ventilating grievances with respect to COVID-19 cases. Because central government also has taken a decision that in case somebody misinforms the public through channels or through the WhatsApp or social media, then they will be punished. That is the main thrust of the course. So the court sought response from the state government of Andhra Pradesh within 4 weeks. The court observed that it is the time to define the limits of sedition. What is sedition? Whether we will go back to the 100 years old Sedition Act or we will have new thinking on those lines. The provisions of 124A Sedition Act and 153 promoting enmity between classes of IPC require interpretation, particularly on the issues of right of press and freedom of speech. This free speech and right of the press, these are the points for contention. Section 124A of the IPC describes the act of sedition. What is the background for this case? The Sedition Act is being used by government indiscriminately against the citizens. And the critics, journalists, and social media users, activists, and the citizens are coming into this purview, and this is being used against them. So the earlier ST judgments, Supreme Court judgments, in the cases of two cases were very clear. Number one, Kedarnath Singh versus State of Bihar, way back in 1962. And another one was Balwant Singh versus State of Punjab in 1965. These were the landmark judgments earlier given. Then we will move again to another important thing. China allowing 3-child norm. This is a very alarming situation and a funny thing also. Days after China's census data showed population growth slipping to its slowest rate since 1950, 70 years back, the country has announced it will now allow 3 children for the married couple. A decision was taken by the government of China in a very high level. In 2016, the first relaxation was made and the rule for 1-child policy to 2 policy was given. They have relaxed it and they said you can have 2 children. China empaneled upon its 1-child position. The embarkment of China upon its 1-child policy was in 1980s. When the Communist Party was came into power, that the country's growing population was approaching 1 billion and would impede the economic prosperity, they thought they should cut a balance regarding the production of children. It was enforced through several measures. Incentives for families financially have been made if they have 1 child. Similarly, making contraceptives widely available is also another incentive taken by the government. Imposing sanctions against those who violated the policy. That is also another major threat. If you have 2 or more children, then you have been taxed. There is an outrage. So the Chinese government have long hailed the policy. It helped the country avert severe food and water shortages by preventing up to 40 crore of people being born. The state used brutal facilities, the violation of human rights, and it was an improper thing. Most of the people approached the Human Rights Commission, and the poorer people of China, they are affected by this judgment. It affected sex ratio skewed towards the males, and most of them were the problem. Then comes another important thing of CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. The Union government has appointed J.B. Mahapatra as an interim chief of the CBDT for 3 months. Normally, the chairman of the CBDT is for 2 years, but here in this case, since the SEC has not appointed a person, they have given an interim chairmanship for this Mahapatra. What is the CBDT? You should take a separate notes for this because it will definitely come in some form or other in the prelims or mains examination or even in the interview. What is the CBDT? It is a statutory constitutional body as per the Central Board of Revenue Act way back 1963. It was created in 1963. One of our Andhra gentlemen, Mr. C.J. Krishnamurthy, was the chairman of the CBDT during 2000. It is India's official financial action task force. It is a task force unit of the finance department. It is administered by Department of Revenue under the Ministry of Finance. This is in a nutshell the activities of the CBDT. The CBDT is the highest authority and it regulates the direct taxes. Then the another appointment made for NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, was Justice Arun Mishra, who was a retired judge of the Supreme Court, has been appointed on 1st of June as chairman of the NHRC. The National Human Rights Commission is almost like a Supreme Court body, and it has long powers to implement and to protect the public. So the NHRC gives the rulings or subomoto decisions. They will take, if something happens to a particular individual or a group of people, they will take it as a subomoto and they will declare the action to be taken by Government of India or particular state or whatever it is. So with these remarks, today I will wind up the entire story. Number one is China's population theory. Number two is CBDT, and then the Sedition Act. And all these points you have to make in a separate notes, and you come up with your own material gathered through some other sources also, so that it gives you an ultimate action point whenever you need to refer this book. So, thank you.